Hi all and welcome back to my university advice series. Today I am covering your UCAS form, open days and interviews. So first of all, you really ought to have gone to open days. Nothing easier said than that, but there's definitely certain things you should look for when you're on an open day. Go to as many as possible, and especially if there is a specific university you kind of think you want to go to. Like I'm now at USW. I didn't actually go to a University of South Wales open day, and I should have done, but it turned out okay for me in the end because I really like it here anyway. Where I really wanted to go was Falmouth University, and I ended up going on 2 or 3 open days there just to make sure it was the perfect fit for me. And unfortunately I didn't get in there, so lo and behold, I ended up somewhere I didn't go. But one thing to remember is always ask questions, and ask as many questions as you want, because the ambassador's showing you around. They've got to show a good face for the school, but also they know exactly what it's like living there and going to uni there. So if I was to become an ambassador and I was stood on the corner at USW, I would be trying to get all of you into conversations and get you all talking about where you want to go and what you want to do, because then I can give you more advice on kind of what to do to succeed there. And just make sure you ask loads of questions, go to your course talk and make sure it is exactly the course you want to go to. And if you're not certain it's a course you want to go to, then sign up for other course talks, because I could have done with going to a photography course talk as well, because I think I would really have enjoyed that. But I didn't, and I didn't go to a graphic communication talk for this uni either. But it did turn out that I was going to enjoy it anyway. But you should really go to loads of open days. And coming down from that is the fact that when you do your UCAS form, you have to, the maximum amount of universities you're allowed to select is 5. And I really do advise at least going to an open day for at least 4 of them. I think I applied to 4 universities, and I went to 2 open days for UE, which is a University of Western England, and I also went to Falmouth University open day. And I went to a look around at University of Cumbria because I was there on holiday and they didn't have an open day while I was there, so I asked to be able to go look around. And absolutely beautiful up there, just a long way for me to travel. I didn't go to this one, but lucky enough I came for an interview at this one, so I kind of got to have a look around at the same time. Make sure you do go to try and go to as many open days as possible. And also with UCAS forms is you do pay it yourself. Your college doesn't pay for you. You pay it, and then UCAS send it off to your head of year, and then they do adding of all references, etc. Because when it says add your references, and what references? I don't have any references. So just be warned, that's what the people at your college do. That's not what you do. And for those of you doing a BTEC course, you need to have your BTEC number, which you can get off of your teacher or the head of department. So I did ICT BTEC, and I got my IT number off of one of my teachers because he was head of department and he knew what it was, because I didn't. And just ask as many questions as you can for the UCAS one to teachers, especially your head of year, because your head of year will know a lot about it because they'll have done it several times before, hopefully. And especially if, like, my head of year, she had kids who'd already been through the UCAS process, so she knew how to do it anyway. Now when you once you've applied and sent it all off, you'll get confirmation emails from your university saying that you've applied. And then several things can happen. Either they won't accept you, that's it, they won't even talk to you, anything, that's it, they won't accept you for whatever reason. Sometimes they give a reason, they're meant to give a reason, but they don't always. Second, you can be called for interview, or third, you can be given an offer. An offer can be an unconditional or a conditional. Unconditional offer is when you'll get given 3 grades that you've got to make, so 2 B's and a C. Or it can be UCAS points, so 280 UCAS points, which I think is a B, C and a D, or a B and 2 C's, from what I recall. It may have changed since then. And so those are the ones you've got to make. The unconditional, pretty much you're plain sailing from there, because you don't have to make any target. But the only thing with unconditional is if you turn up at the university and you are not at the standard you were when you applied, then they can send you away. Because I know definitely with Falmouth University, they do this thing where they give you conditional offers, and then about 4 weeks before results come out, they drop you down to unconditional, because they want you to work your arse off for that place. They don't want you to relax for the entirety of it all. And then there's the guys who want you for an interview. Now when you go for an interview, they normally just tell you you've got to be here on this date at this time, and in this building, depending on what campus you're at. And sometimes, especially if it's an art-based course, you'll be asked to put a portfolio together. And suggestion for a portfolio is maximum of about 15 of your best pieces. And always kind of start off with your best, and then chronological order to the end, and then at the very end put your second best. So that you kind of start off with a high note and you end on a high note. So if there's a little, I don't know, whoopsie in the middle where you put something in that you didn't think was your best work, then it's kind of brushed over because you've got better work around it. And also make sure that everything you put in there is relevant, and it's not just something that's not relevant to the course you're going on to at all. But if you're doing like graphic design, then you are more than welcome to put like photography in there, etc., because you do a lot of that kind of stuff as well, especially if you use Photoshop. Like one of the pieces I put in for my portfolio was a picture of the back of me with angel wings, and I'd photoshopped that all myself, which was relevant because we do Photoshop a lot in graphic communication or graphic design. So always think about that kind of thing and what you're including, and make sure it's something you know you can talk about, because especially with mine, there was always the one question you always got was explain one of your favourite pieces in your portfolio, and lucky enough I had quite a few of my favourite pieces in there. So, and they always ask you little questions like, why do you want to come here, why did you pick us, what other universities have you applied to, that kind of thing. But always make sure you go in there with a list of questions you want to ask as well. Like even the little silly things like how long does it take to get on the train up to the main campus, because I live in the centre of Cardiff and that's where my university campus is. But when I do cheerleading, I'm on the main campus, which means I have to catch a train, which is around about 20 minutes, and with a student card is about £4.50 for a round turn, which is relatively cheap. And if you ask those little questions, like, oh, where are the nearest supermarkets, that kind of thing, then they know you're really interested in being there and being their university, and you're actually thinking about it ahead of time. Because you don't want to turn up on the day, like a couple of days before university starts, and think, I need shopping, where can I go? So they know you're thinking about everything ahead of time. And just ask other questions like what contact time. Ask them how much contact time you get, because contact time is a very big thing. Like at the moment I think I have 12 hours worth of contact time a week, which for me that suits because I'm good at working in my own time. But if you know you're not good at working in your own time, either you've got to really work hard, or you're going to have to pick a university that's got more contact time. And second thing with interviews, be very, very enthusiastic, even if it's the place you don't want to go. Like when I went to the interview at UWE, to be honest, I didn't want to go to UWE. I didn't like UE. I went to the open day and I didn't like it, but I put it down as one of my university choices just as a place filler, just in case I didn't get anywhere else. And I went in there and tried to act enthusiastically as possible. I didn't get an offer, but to be honest, to me that didn't mean a huge amount, because it wasn't going to bother me. I didn't want to go there. So, but just act as enthusiastic as you can, especially if it's a place you really want to go as well. But it's just interview practice and portfolio practice. Ask your teachers, especially if it's like an art course you're going for and you need to put portfolio together. Sit down with one of your teachers or a couple of your creative teachers and get them to help you pick stuff out for your portfolio. You can do practice interviews with them. You can do practice interviews with your family as well if they know what the interview process is like. Do it with your friends. Get people's help on everything. So that kind of thing. But definitely with interviews, you have to really try and show up to them that you are the person they're looking for. You will be the top of the class. You will work hard. And just make sure you are really pushing for this. And if you have any problems, just make sure you ask teachers for help, because most of them have had kids who have gone through UCAS and have gone to university. Not all of them, but most of them have. So ask them, and if you've got friends who are already at university, brothers, sisters, they already know what universities are looking for. And as soon as you've started getting offers in, because you should get offers soon afterwards, as soon as you start getting offers, start looking at where you want to go to university, because if you get offers from all 5 then you have to make a decision. So do that, and also look at where you can live, because some like for Campus I'm on at the moment, they don't actually have on-campus housing for us. We are in a letted building through a company called Liberty Living, and it's really nice here, and I live in one of their blocks. So it's not run by the university, but the university have got these guys to run it for them. And one other thing, if you get an unconditional offer, it either has to go as your first choice for university, or you have to say no, you don't want it. Because after you've picked 5, you get offers from however many, and then you have to pick the one you really, really want to go to, and then your second one is the one that if you didn't get to your first, you'd happily go there. But if you've got an unconditional, that has to go as your first, or you have to turn them down. It can't go as your second. And try and make sure that your first one has got higher grades than your second one, just in case you don't do as well as you thought you were going to do. And remember, you can always put it off a year if you want to. So if you get to results day and you've got the results you want, and you've got into the university you want, or you've got into a university that you thought you wanted at the time of applying but have changed your mind a bit, then you can defer a year and then you can pull out and try again. So don't worry too much about that. Right, so I hope that's helped in some sort of way, and from now on I'm going to start doing a couple more advice videos on like what to bring to university, what to expect for Freshers Week, all of that kind of thing. And I think I'm going to start doing some vlogs as well, so you can follow me on Saturdays to cheer practice, and possibly on a couple of days during the week to go to uni, and what I do during the days when I've got time off. Like, I might walk you through a typical Wednesday for me, which is probably wake up at 11 and then go to sleep at 1 AM. I'm not a party animal, I just happen to sleep those hours. But definitely the cheerleading ones will come up pretty quick, because we've got competition season coming up soon, so you'll definitely have quite a few follow me arounds for competition season. But I hope this has all helped, and hopefully you'll find these helpful. Thanks, bye.